Let's dive into a story that recently set the internet abuzz. A tale that had everyone from business analysts to casual shoppers glued to their screens, speculating about what might happen next. It's a story that shows just how quickly rumors can spread, and how the digital age can turn a whisper into a trending topic overnight. Amazon versus Trump, the so-called tariff tussle. The idea of two titans, one from the world of tech and the other from politics, squaring off over trade policy was irresistible to the media and the public alike. The headlines promised a dramatic showdown, a tech giant challenging a president over tariffs, with global stakes. Newsrooms buzzed with speculation, and financial markets watched closely, wondering if this would spark a new era of corporate activism. Rumors swirled that Amazon would start showing customers a presidential tariff fee at checkout, making trade policy personal. The idea was that every shopper would see in real time the impact of government decisions on their wallets. People imagined Amazon turning online shopping into a real-time economics lesson, directly linking political decisions to everyday prices. Social media exploded with debates. Some applauded the transparency, while others worried it would only add confusion and frustration to the checkout process. The idea of a corporate giant confronting the White House captured imaginations everywhere. It felt like a bold new chapter in the relationship between business and government, with the potential to set a precedent for how companies respond to policy changes. But the reality? Far less dramatic. Behind the scenes, there was no public standoff, no fiery press releases, and no sudden changes to your Amazon cart. The story was more of an internal brainstorm than a public rebellion. It was a conversation among executives, a what-if scenario explored in the safety of a conference room, rather than a declaration of war. It involved a specific part of Amazon's business and a plan that never left the drawing board. The so-called presidential tariff fee was just one of many ideas considered, and ultimately set aside. So let's unpack what actually happened, because the real story, while less explosive than the headline suggested, reveals a lot about how companies think, how rumors start, and how quickly a simple idea can capture the world's attention. What was the real plan? Behind closed doors, away from the public eye, Amazon's leadership was wrestling with a question that would shape the future of its low-cost shopping platform. How transparent should they be with customers about the impact of new tariffs on prices? Inside Amazon, a select group of executives floated a bold idea. What if, on Amazon Haul, a new, budget-focused platform, they showed shoppers exactly how much of their purchase price was due to Trump-era tariffs? The concept was simple, but the implications were huge. This wasn't about the main Amazon site, which serves millions of customers daily. Instead, the proposal targeted Amazon Haul, a platform designed to compete directly with fast fashion giants like Shein and Temu by offering ultra-cheap goods shipped straight from China. The stakes were high in this cutthroat market. The core idea was radical transparency, breaking down the price so customers could see, line by line, how tariffs were driving up costs. It was a move that could have set Amazon Haul apart, giving shoppers a rare glimpse into the forces shaping their bills. But as with many ambitious ideas, this one never made it past the proposal stage. It remained a draft, discussed in meetings and circulated in internal memos, but never greenlit for launch or public announcement. Amazon later confirmed that the idea was indeed considered, but ultimately rejected. The company weighed the pros and cons, debated the risks of confusing customers or sparking controversy, and decided to keep the plan on the shelf. Like many large corporations, Amazon is a breeding ground for creative brainstorming. Countless ideas are generated, debated, and quietly set aside, never making it to the public stage. This was just one of many. In April 2025, news reports surfaced about the internal debate, sparking speculation about Amazon's intentions. But insiders say the company was never preparing for a public showdown or a campaign against tariffs. The discussions were internal, focused on strategy, not spectacle. The reality was more mundane. Amazon was simply trying to figure out how to adapt its low-cost business to a changing global trade environment. With tariffs raising costs on goods from China, the company needed to rethink how it could stay competitive in the bargain shopping space. When asked, Amazon clarified that the decision not to move forward with the transparency plan was made internally. There was no pressure from the White House or any government agency, just a business decision made quietly and deliberately. In the end, the plan was quietly shelved, long before it could become a public controversy or a rallying cry. It joined the long list of corporate ideas that are considered, debated, and ultimately left behind, never to see the light of day. Even though the plan was dead, news of it caught President Trump's attention. True to form, Trump called Jeff Bezos directly. We don't know the details, but it was likely a frank exchange between two powerful figures. Afterward, Trump told reporters the issue was resolved quickly and called Bezos a good guy. This was classic Trump, framing the situation as a simple misunderstanding fixed by a phone call. He projected control and decisiveness, turning a potential PR mess into a story of leadership. The direct call bypassed bureaucracy, showing Trump's preference for personal negotiation. Publicly, the message was harmony and cooperation, even if the history between these two is complicated. It was political theater, designed to show the president in command. While Trump played peacemaker, his administration took a harder line. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called Amazon's reported plan a hostile and political act. She framed it as a partisan attack, not a business decision. Leavitt questioned why Amazon hadn't highlighted costs during the previous administration's inflation spike, painting the company as hypocritical. The message Amazon was using its platform for political points. She urged Americans to buy American, reinforcing the administration's economic agenda. This two-pronged approach, Trump's conciliatory call and the press secretary's public condemnation, was classic good cop, bad cop. It let the administration send a tough message while Trump appeared above the fray. So, what's a tariff? Simply put, it's a tax on imported goods. The Trump administration made tariffs central to its economic strategy, especially targeting China. Most imports now face at least a 10% duty. Chinese goods face tariffs of at least 145%. The big change ending the de minimis exemption for China, which had allowed packages under $800 to enter the US tariff-free. This loophole fueled the rise of Shein, Temu, and Amazon Haul by keeping prices low. Now, every item from China, no matter how cheap, faces steep tariffs. That means higher costs for importers and ultimately, for shoppers. The era of ultra-cheap, tax-free cross-border shopping is over. This fundamentally changes the economics of online retail. Tariffs might sound like a problem for big companies, but they hit your wallet too. While headlines often focus on the impact to corporations and international trade, the real effects are felt every time you shop for everyday essentials. Whether you're picking up groceries, shopping for back-to-school supplies, or replacing a broken phone charger, tariffs can quietly drive up the prices you pay. When import costs rise, companies pass those costs to you, the shopper. Retailers and brands don't just absorb the extra expense, instead they adjust their price tags, sometimes in small increments that add up over time. Even if you don't notice a big jump overnight, your weekly spending can slowly creep higher. Prices for everyday items like phone cases and headphones are going up. It's not just electronics. Think about kitchen gadgets, toys, clothing, and even some food products. Many of these goods are imported, and tariffs make them more expensive before they even reach the shelves. About half of Amazon's US sellers are based in China, so these tariffs hit hard. That means a huge portion of the products you see online are affected, from tech accessories to home goods. The supply chain stretches across the globe, and tariffs disrupt every link along the way. Sellers must raise prices or leave the US market, meaning fewer choices and higher costs for Americans. Small businesses in particular struggle to compete, and some may be forced to close their doors. For shoppers, this can mean less variety and more frustration at the checkout. Economists warn that aggressive tariffs can slow the economy and even trigger a recession. When prices rise and consumer spending drops, businesses may cut jobs or delay investments, creating a ripple effect that touches every corner of the economy. Other countries may retaliate, hurting US exporters. American-made products can become more expensive overseas, leading to fewer sales and lost jobs at home. Trade wars rarely have just one winner. Amazon saw this storm coming, especially for Amazon Haul. The company has been preparing for months, analyzing supply chains and working with sellers to find solutions. But even the biggest players can't shield customers from every price increase. The company had to decide, quietly raise prices or explain the increases to customers. It's a tough call. Transparency can build trust, but higher prices can drive shoppers away. Either way, the impact lands on your shopping cart. It's a dilemma that shows how political decisions in Washington hit your credit card statement. The next time you notice your bill creeping up, remember, global trade policies aren't just abstract debates, they shape the prices you pay every day. To understand the Trump-Bezos phone call, you need to know their history. Trump has long criticized Amazon over taxes, the Postal Service, and especially the Washington Post owned by Bezos. Their feud escalated when Amazon sued over a lost Pentagon contract, alleging Trump's personal bias. So Trump's 2025 call to Bezos wasn't just business, it was the latest chapter in a long-running rivalry. His public praise of Bezos was a rare truce, showing both men can set aside differences when it suits them. It's a reminder of the power and pragmatism at play behind the scenes. Why did Amazon drop the tariff display idea? Officially, it wasn't due to White House pressure, but the risks were obvious. A public fight with the administration could mean regulatory trouble, bad press, and boycotts. Transparency sounds good, but highlighting a Trump tariff could alienate customers who support the president. It could also create friction at checkout, discouraging sales. Technically, tracking tariffs for millions of products is a nightmare. After weighing the hassle and risk, Amazon chose the safer path. The potential reward, customer transparency, wasn't worth the political and technical headaches. Backing away wasn't cowardice, it was smart business. Amazon decided to adapt quietly, not turn its checkout into a political battleground. Sometimes the best move is to avoid controversy and focus on the bottom line. Let's clear up the biggest myth. Amazon is not leaving America. The company is deeply rooted in the US economy and isn't going anywhere over a tariff dispute. This was about a rejected idea on a secondary website, not a corporate exodus. The real story is how companies like Amazon must constantly adapt to shifting political winds. Policy changes in Washington ripple through global supply chains and land in your shopping basket. The Amazon-Trump tariff tussle was a minor skirmish, but it revealed the high-stakes calculations behind the scenes. Amazon will keep navigating this new landscape, and so will American shoppers. The controversy offered a glimpse into the new economic reality we all face.